We all need a place in this world. A place where prejudice, bias, and unthinking words will never separate us. We need a place for grace. We can be a place for grace.
One thing that people say to me that hurts is when they are inquiring about my race or ethnic background, but they do so in the following way and in a time where they just met me, and they'll say, "What are you?" Or well, pretty much "What are you?" is the main one that people say. And "What are you?" is, even though that could be a vague question in general, in that case, I know exactly what it means. They want to know what I'm mixed with. Specifically, they want to know what kind of non-white I'm mixed with. And the way I know this is because if I don't answer the question as desired, I keep getting more questions till I get to that point. The way to handle that instead is I don't really feel like we need to establish what race everybody is the first time that we meet them. So it's really not that important. And really it's something that could be waited to be shared until the person's comfortable sharing it. So unless it's relevant to a conversation or something like that. But for it to be just one of those things you ask when you first meet someone, it really shows that person who's mixed or who isn't easily identifiable that, what's really important is that we establish what all our races are first. And that doesn't really, it doesn't make me feel good when people do that. Another thing that sometimes people do that really makes me feel othered, especially racially, is when I meet a white person for the first time, and this has happened several times where I'll be with other white people, and they will introduce themselves to everyone, but when they get to me, they'll talk, and then they'll say something like, "Okay, girlfriend," or "You know what I'm talking about, right?" Or some type of stereotypical phrase that black people on TV say, or people think black people on TV say. And it's really strange because I'm wondering, why am I the person here out of everyone that is talked to that way? And I'm not sure if it's done out of a way of trying to identify or what, but it is really surprising and shocking when people do it. And also, it's implicitly racist because it's something you're doing only to a black person, and you're presenting a stereotypical black idea to them as a way of saying you're cool or something like that. And I actually find it really insulting. So what you could do instead is be really mindful, and I don't think any of the people who've done this to me really realized they were doing it, but being really mindful of how you're speaking in a space and how you're speaking differently to different people, and trying to really listen and pick up on why you're saying certain things at certain times can really help you to be aware in a space. Sometimes we don't think we speak differently around different groups of people, but you can also ask other people how you sound, or did you say anything? And also another reason that it's bothersome when people do that is because it's an establishing of like race in a very subtle way, that I recognize you as a black person, and so I'm going to, say some black things to you, whereas that I mean, that's just really strange and odd to have to establish what races people are when they meet. One thing that people do to me and to other people I've talked to about this that kind of hurts is when you're a black person and when you have hair. So not me right now, but I've had plenty of hair in the past. And you're in a space and a white person comes up to you and asks you if they can touch your hair, or they say something like, you all have really great hair, or making a comment about the black person in the room's hair, and especially asking to touch it, is rude and insulting because it makes us feel like we're an animal in the zoo and an exhibit on display, or that white hair is the default hair and black hair is the exotic, strange hair. It really doesn't make anyone feel good, and it also makes us feel really uncomfortable. What you could do instead is, if you're a white person and you see a black person's hair that you think you really like, you shouldn't say anything. You should instead wait till you get to know them, or give the endeavor up altogether. But if you really, really must, wait till you get to know them, and then ask in a very considerate way if you could touch their hair. And maybe something like, hey, I hope that, this doesn't offend you, but I really do like your hair, and I would like to touch it if that's okay. And if it's not okay, that's fine. And then you should listen to whatever they say. If they do let you touch it, you should actually touch and feel the hair and not pet it, because petting makes the zoo thing come back really, really fast.